Radioactivity and iodine. These days everyone is worried about a possible radioactive leak or a nuclear accident due to the war between Russia and Ukraine. Most of the physical or chemical processes that atoms experience affect the cortex, that is, the electrons that revolve around the nucleus. Only in some isotopes of certain chemical elements the nuclei can undergo transformations, in which the nucleus loses or gains some particle. The nucleus breaks down and smaller nuclei are formed. Several small nuclei join to form a larger nucleus. In general, when atoms of one element undergo a process in the nucleus, they become atoms of a different chemical element. Radioactive emissions. Radioactive decay is the process that the nuclei of some atoms undergo, causing them to emit radiation. These atoms are called radioactive isotopes. The radiation they emit can be of three types: alpha, beta or gamma. Alpha radiation are particles made up of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Their charge is positive and they are emitted at high speed. Although they have very little penetrating power, a few sheets of paper can stop them. Beta radiation is made up of electrons. It has a negative charge and the mass is very small. Beta particles have more penetrating power than alpha particles. They can pass through an aluminum sheet of a few millimeters. Gamma radiation is light-type radiation. It has great penetrating power. To stop it you need thick plates of lead or concrete. Applications of radioactive isotopes. Power source. In nuclear power plants, energy is obtained by taking advantage of the fission of radioactive isotopes of uranium and plutonium. Nuclear energy can also be used to make very long-lasting batteries powered by plutonium-238. They are used in pacemakers, in measuring equipment in space probes or in maritime or terrestrial stations located in areas of difficult access. Medicine as a diagnostic method for some diseases. A substance, drink or injected, that contains an isotope that emits low-energy radiation is administered to potential patients. This substance is fixed to the organ and allows it to be observed by recording the radiation it emits. Cancer causes some cells to reproduce rapidly and form a tumor. The isotopes that emit high-energy radiation affect the cell reproduction process. If these isotopes are administered to a cancer patient, they will kill more diseased cells than normal cells, since the latter reproduce less. Radiotherapy is based on this, which uses different isotopes such as gold-198, strontium-90 or cobalt-60. Radioactive waste. All activities related to radioactive isotopes generate waste, such as the remains of nuclear fuel or radioactive materials used for the diagnosis or treatment of diseases. Objects that have been in contact with radioactive material are also considered waste. Radioactive waste is very dangerous and long-lasting. Small amounts of residue can emit radiation dangerous to health. Some continue to emit radiation for thousands of years. Radioactive waste is classified as low, medium and high activity waste. Low and medium activity wastes are those that cease to be dangerous to health in a maximum of 300 years. High-level waste comes from the remains of fuel from nuclear power plants or from nuclear weapons. It will take thousands of years to stop being harmful to health. A device called a Geiger counter makes it possible to measure radiation. These days there is a lot of concern about this issue because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. Also because of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, which has no electricity supply and therefore cannot continue to be cooled with the possibility of radiation leakage. And, on the other hand, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant that has a tower that is not working and the others are under maintenance and also need electricity. Hence, the possibility of radiation escape may be feasible and therefore is of great concern to the population. Norway has distributed iodine to all kindergartens and schools so that it can be supplied to children in the event of a nuclear accident or radioactive leak. This makes me think that the possibility of radioactivity is more than evident. Iodine in the form of potassium iodide is the only effective treatment if taken immediately when radioactivity is inhaled or after ingesting radioactively contaminated food or drink. In a nuclear accident, radioactive iodine when inhaled can be absorbed by the thyroid gland. The intake of natural iodine kelp, Nature's Plus, blocks the absorption of radioactive iodine in the thyroid gland and reduces the risk of thyroid development in the event of a nuclear leak. Yesterday, Saturday, March 12, 2022, I checked the level of radioactivity at the Directorate of Radiological Protection and National Security, DSA, and at 1 p.m. It was between 500 and 2000 gamma dose rate, an amount that is classified as high. The entire team at Parapharmacy Online Biopharma hopes that a disaster like Chernobyl does not happen again and that there is no radioactive leak or nuclear accident. An article by Catalina Vidal Ramirez, pharmacist, manager at bio-pharma.es. The information presented in this article is in no way a substitute for the advice of a physician. Any mention in this article of a product does not represent the endorsement of the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, for that product.